Hi, I'm Jill at the Mobile Public Library, and I have a book recommendation. Today I want to recommend The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is a high fantasy novel, meaning that it is set in a completely fantasy world that's not like based in, normal reality. But the world is sort of vaguely Roman Empire-esque, with that kind of like Roman Empire level of technology. But then it also has leviathans that come out of the ocean every wet season and cause massive amounts of death and destruction on land if they're not stopped. So the entire motivation of the empire and all of the resources going to maintaining these massive seawalls and siege engines and troops to keep the leviathans out and to kill them before they get to the population on land. And the leviathans are basically like the same as kaiju, like from Pacific Rim or something. And another tool in their toolbox to protect themselves is they do what's basically like genetic engineering, but it's using like the leviathan blood that causes various like mutations to happen, to engineer different plants and animals and even human beings to better maintain society, modern convenience type stuff, but also mostly to fight the leviathans. And now the book starts out with our main character, Den, who's sort of a junior investigator. He's just kind of gotten out of the academy and has only been working a few months, has mostly done financial crimes. And he gets sent to the scene of a murder scene. And it was a very high up official who was murdered. And Den has been genetically modified to be what they call an engraver, which is somebody who remembers everything they've seen or heard or done. So Den goes to the scene and inspects the scene, and he goes back to his sort of eccentric genius mentor, Anna, and explains what happens, and she unravels the mystery. But in the process of figuring out what happened to this first official, they find out that there's actually a whole conspiracy behind the murder, that, involves a lot of, very important people, and also is possibly a threat to the entire empire and the defense they're putting up against the leviathans. And of course, this is all happening during the wet season, and they are stationed fairly close to the wall, so the threat of kaiju/leviathans hangs over the whole book. It's, like I said, it's very well done. It's got some fantastic world building, but it's done in such a way that you're not bogged down with like info dumps, and the author doesn't neglect the main characters and the main plot in the process. So it says, a very interesting book, good characters. The mystery was very intriguing. The world was very intriguing. There is a sequel coming out April 1st, and I'm going to be sure to pick that up when it comes out next week. And I would highly recommend it to anyone who likes a good, mystery, fantasy, action adventure type. I mean, it's got a little bit of action, but it's mostly like mystery, intrigue, and the world building was fantastic, and the characters were really good too. So I'd highly recommend it to most fantasy readers. The only thing that might be off-putting to some readers is because of the whole like body modification, genetic engineering stuff. Some people who are kind of put off by like body horror, that grossness, it's very squishy kind of technology that they're using to run their lives and stuff, that might be off-putting to some people, but I really enjoyed it. Okay, so for food, I've been eating a lot of Mediterranean lately. I love lamb and eggplant and tzatziki sauce, so Mediterranean is right up my alley. There's a bunch of different places in Mobile that do pretty good Mediterranean food, so that's a great option to try it if you've not really eaten much Mediterranean, but it's also pretty easy to cook. You can easily Google some recipes. Anyway, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you have been reading and eating lately, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.